So today we're going to talk about AI. They can generate pictures that's very similar to what humans can make. So these pictures are generated by an AI. Pretty cool. And this as well. Today I will break down the technology behind these and what are the opportunities, what's the advantage of using these, and what's the kind of disadvantage, and how we can even measure how creative the AI is. But without further ado, by the way, if you would like to receive more AI related videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I make these kind of videos every week. So what is these things? So it's works done by Waifu Labs V2. They released their models 2 years ago. It was pretty surprising to many people how they can generate such a realistic in terms of it's not really realistic, but it's like brilliant artwork that's just like a human artists will make. Okay, so how does it work? It's just GAN neural network, right? If you're not familiar with GAN, generative adversarial networks, there are two things. One network that generate images, and another network is called detector discriminators. One generate images, and discriminator is in charge of distinguish if this image is generated by machine or is actually human made or real. In this case, if this image is drawn by human or machine. In other cases, maybe is this really real photo or generative photo. So there'll be like competition between generator and the discriminator. Generator just keep generating images, try to trick the discriminator, and discriminator will try its best to differentiate which one's generative, which one's real. And by training over time, both of generator will become much better. It will generate more and more realistic or closest to the pictures that human made. And discriminator will also learn more and more, because at first the generator maybe will generate something. In this case, we want the generator to be able to generate the pictures that like a human artist will really draw. So at first, he hasn't really learned too much. He just generates such random pixels. You can still see this such like maybe it's human hate here, and the discriminator will just have an easier time to differentiate, because this kind of image and the human-made image is similar to this kind of image. It's very different. So discriminator will have like a very strong advantage. So it's easy, but after like several training, 1,000 steps, then generator start to generate more much better work compared to this one. Then after 4,000 steps, it generates much better, and after 13,000, it's really like animate. And after more training, more similar to what humans can make, and after 40,000 training steps, is quite close to human professional artist can draw. At least it's definitely better than my drawing. And sometimes you will encounter some unstable points, which is like maybe it's overfitting, or you go into some local minimum is instead of like global minimum in low space, right? Then after training, after 50,000 steps, it can generate like these. In my opinion, this one like after 40,000 is actually better. So there may be some overtraining, overfitting here. But anyway, during the training, generators doing better generating job, and the discriminator will need to be more serious about that, because at this point, there's literally no difference between the picture that's drawn by the machine or a human. At least I won't be able to tell any difference. So that's how the GAN neural network work. And the way they train this model is they make human artists to draw a lot of pictures, animate pictures. They probably collect a lot of these kind of images from the internet. Then they lay the model to learn how to generate this kind of images. So using the GAN neural network, this pair neural network to train the model. The model eventually know how to generate these kind of things. Yeah, and this is really similar to what humans draw a picture in model. In model, there's a latent space, which is like the vector. Put all the image, all the concept into vectors. So like this, model can still generate similar things. If you tell model, I want to have the same character but with different angles, model somehow can generate the same character with different angles, because model has a mental representation of a character, of the things, of the item, just like you do. How we differentiate, how we know this is a human, this is a dog, this is a cat, is because we have the mental representation of different kinds of object. Okay, so like this, the samples different style, and this is the samples different styles. So model have the concept, samples needs to be here. It's not even just a samples, it's a same character. So model have the concept of, if they are same character, their eyes, nose, mouth, the face ratio, everything should be the same. And what's actually different is the hairstyle, hair colors, and like dressing styles. Yeah, so the ratio between the eyes, nose, the nose, mouth, everything, that should be the same. Okay, and that's just how it works. But somehow, if you train this kind of network, they will just generate very repetitive images, and they may just copy what it has seen in the training time. They just generate the same images in your training data, which you don't want to, because if let's say you feed enough training data like Dragon Ball characters, then model have seen a lot of those, and in the inference time, model just generate a lot of Dragon Ball characters, which is they already exist. So what's the point of generating that? So what we want models to have some creativity to generate new kinds of characters that we never seen before, and then we can use that to make a comic books, anime. So that's the purpose of this kind of a creative neural network. So how do you make sure that? It's a very tricky thing. So they propose 4 different aspects that you can make sure that by Waifu Lab. The quality is how good this image is. It's very easy to tell this quality high or quality low. And nowadays, I won't say this is really the problem with generative neural network. Usually now the neural network model can generate very realistic pictures or very quality artwork. The problem is more like diversity. How can the model generate things that has a variety of the traits in the requested quality, right? Just like a GPT-3 is text generation model, so it can generate a lot of high quality, very fluent English text, but diversity of its generation is usually lacking. Okay, and another one is very interesting. Is customizability is pretty hard word to pronounce, by the way. What this means is how you can let's say you want to generate characters, a Dragon Ball characters, Gukong. You want a Gukong character with the Santa Claus dressing style. So how can you communicate? How do you customize this character? Or what I can say is the modulability. How can you modularize these things? You combine Gukong characters, Vegeta characters with Santa Claus cloth. So how can you combine this customization? So there's another aspect, and the time, how fast the model or artist can deliver the piece of work, right? So this is really not a problem for neural network model. The problem I would say is the diversity and the customizability. Okay, the quality is more like a past 3 years challenge. Now the quality is really good enough. If you ask this GAN neural network to generate pictures, images photos. Most of the time you couldn't tell it's generated or a real one. Okay, so interesting things is the customization things is really like for the artist, it's more like a communication skill, because some artists is really hard to communicate with. If this artist is not really good at communication, you don't know how to convey your concept to this artist, right? If you want to draw this character with Santa Claus dressing, it's sometimes just hard to communicate with them, then they won't be able to draw this kind of thing. And for neural network, same thing. How do you communicate with neural network? It's pretty hard. Maybe neural network is able to draw that kind of picture, but how can you make it parameters that you can manipulate? You can tell neural network you want to draw that kind of things. So that's an interesting thing. And for me, this kind of work, it's really not uncommon. That you can see a lot of these papers or works on the internet. But this lab is really, they went further. They use their generated images and collaborate with a game company that generated a mobile game. This mobile game, I think, is super cool. It's a mobile game and it's generated by AI. It's done by AI generated images. So this is pretty cool. It's like mobile game, and mobile game usually needs a lot of drawing, and this is like 2D drawing, so it's kind of the perfect place for generating AI. And I was actually quite shocked when they first released these things. Even I am very familiar with the GAN technology, but it's the first time I see such a great quality 2 years ago. And now they even went further. They train even better neural network and really commercialize this. So great job, this Waifu Lab. So that's the AI review today. It's really cool work. And if you would like to receive more videos like these AI related videos, AI reviews like this, don't forget to subscribe. And other than that, take care. I will see you next time.